Hi everybody. Okay, sorry I'm a couple minutes late, but I was doing a little double duty before, so I'll talk about it later. But Y&R, we might have a little mystery arc on our hands. Phyllis apparently is MIA for a couple days. Now, coincidentally or uncoincidentally, depends on how it works out. It the timing of it is a little sus. Um, because if you remember, the Valentine's Day episode was where they were in dreams, and Phyllis supposedly went to Paris to talk to Billy, and then Sally just disappeared, and he said, "Where's Sally?" And she said, "Well, I think she went off to try to be with Adam." And I was like, "What?" So that's the last we saw of her, besides, her calling um, Billy a million times. Or not a million, but like five, at least leaving five messages about Billy, where are you? I need to talk to you now. Okay. Um, okay. So that's a bit yeah, I don't know. But it doesn't really surprise me because Michelle Stafford has other things that she does. And like I always say, actors and actresses need breaks. So she's probably just taking a winter spring break or something. Um but it does feed into the past storyline a bit because we finally see Chance today. Woohoo! All right, because I was wondering where he is. Um, okay, so the way it feeds in is Summer is there with Daniel, right? And Summer not so subtly hints to Chance, well, you should look for my mother. That's a small way you could make up for what you did to what you put my brother through. And I'm like, okay, you don't know the art of subtlety, obviously, but wow. Um, yeah, so I was thinking about that. Okay, and then, yeah, it was basically where is Phyllis? Um, that was the storyline. Oh, and then the other major storyline, but I kind of see it as an afterthought because, okay, I'll explain myself. Um, now, I think I've talked about this before, but there are different kinds of statuses when you're on a soap opera or anything, but especially a show. Um, you can be on the list, on the cast, or recurring, or supporting, or whatever. Okay, now, primarily what you want is to be the lead because that means pretty much they're going to feature you or have you as on a lot. Okay, and then supporting is a little less, and then recurring is like even less. So say you have two or three jobs. Say you get the part that we're talking about, and then like a movie and another thing, and say they want you to be the lead in the other show. But you talk to the show and you tell them that, I have this other opportunity, and but I can only be recurring on here, so I can do that on there. And so sometimes that happens. But recurring means you might show up and it might be 3 months, 6 months before you show up again, which greatly affects your pay, I would think. So you might not want to go there. But say you're, or the other thing is the guest star. That means you're only going to be there for maybe, maybe 3 months, maybe 6 months, but not 6 months in a row. Like take Colleen Zink as Jordan as an example. Okay, I can use it as an example because she's gone. They're not going to use her again. unless they come up with some crazy harebrained thing where she didn't die or something. Okay, but her contract was a guest star, which means that they use her, but not a lot at all. And then she can be off the canvas for a while and then show back up again. But then usually if it's a guest star, that means your role is going to be ending at some point. And I mean ending, like they're not calling you back. So okay. The reason I bring this all up is because Amy Lewis, I think she's on, well, it's not called this, but I think she's on the bubble of like they haven't decided if they're going to make her recurring or supporting or whatever. Now, her storyline has been hot and heavy for the last couple of months, right? Right. So, and also you have to put in there that she is supposedly going to unalive soon. So then you're kind of in a pickle here because you have two choices, and literally two choices. They can either come up with some life saving something that saves her, and or they can have something that kind of prolongs her life, but she's still gonna unalive. So it's all in what she wants to do. And but I think I got a tip as to what is going to happen so far because Nate was talking to her today and saying that please, I want your permission to give your information, your medical records to a friend of mine and see if he can do something for you. Now, usually when they want to keep you around, they give you that option. Whereas if they want you unalive, you're unalive. And I can give you some examples of that too. But so I really think she's gonna stay around for at least a little bit because I well, and this is where the personal opinion comes in. I think it would be kind of not very smart of them to build up a character and make the fans love her just to get rid of her that soon. Um, so yeah, I'm pulling for her to stay around a bit because I want her to have not so that she needs closure anymore, but I want her to have a relationship with Damien. But I also, on the other hand, I don't want it to be forced on Damien, if that makes sense. So, but then again, okay, so I was right. All right, I get the point again. All right, so Damien, the other one, the real Damien, is sticking around. And also, I heard before that they're going to split the two people, obviously. But then the point is to give them separate storylines. So you're going to see both Holden and Damien in separate storylines. Now, the point I was right about is that they're going to give him a love life really quick because that meet cute, as they call it now, or they used to. I don't know what they call it anymore. They still might, but when Lily, okay, now Amanda Russ helped me with this because it was Lily who ran into Damien. And when I say ran into him, I mean smack into him. Okay? Because she was looking at her phone, texting or whatever. But being Lily, she says, just watch where you're going next time. Ugh. Okay, so part of the catalyst for Damien staying is his attraction or want to know more about Lily. And we see that today because he wanted to grab a coffee and talk to her. Now, okay, I'm going to talk about something I usually don't talk about that much on my channel, but I feel it's appropriate here. All right, for all the women out there who are still in the dating world or want to date or have dated or whatever, okay, there are levels of dates. A coffee date is like a very quick meeting. A lunch is like an interview, and dinner is romance. Remember that. And anything else could have any other label in between. So when a guy says, or anybody says, I want to grab a coffee, that means they're not really sure about you. They just want something quick where it's no pressure, um, you know, kind of get to know you a little bit, but whatever, and kind of feel you out. And then if a guy asks you out for dinner, then you know that he really wants to be with you. Okay, now keep this in mind because Damien did exactly what I just said. Damien asked Lily if they could grab a coffee together. When she said, I have to go to work, he said automatically, without prompting from her, would you like to have dinner with me? Immediately. Okay, so that's sign number two. If anyone is interested in you, it doesn't take a lot of time. They'll know that they're interested and they'll let their intentions be known right now. And you won't have to ask and wonder what is in their head. They'll tell you. So just remember that. Okay. So yeah, so he's gonna stay around for that. Amy is hopefully gonna live longer than whatever a month. Um, and Phyllis, where's Phyllis? Phyllis is probably gonna show up next week. Um, and once again, I have another reason why I don't like summer because, well, and this goes back to the original, which didn't mean to turn it into a dating thing, but okay, wait a minute. Men do not like ultimatums at all. Don't do it. It's not good. It will not serve you. All you'll look like is desperate or demanding. That's not good. Not good. Okay. All right. I guess.